They say a man who cannot make his own hoe will forever borrow to till his field. Africa once made her own hoe, her own clothes, shoes, cars, and radios. But today, she borrows everything, even matches to light her candle of development. Once upon a time, a factory burst in Lagos, Harare, Nairobi, and Johannesburg. The machine sang songs of progress, and our youth found pride in labor. But today, silence has replaced the home. The factory gates are shut, and the worker's hand now stretches for imported goods. We buy what we once made, we wear what we once wove, we drink what we once brewed. My brothers and sisters, the death of African manufacturing is not just an economic tragedy. It is a betrayal of identity. Because a nation that cannot produce for itself is a nation that has surrendered its destiny to others. So, how did we move from producing nations to consuming societies? How did we trade our industries for importing bills? Let's walk that journey together. In this conversation, we are going to open the vault of Africa's forgotten glory. When we built, created, and exported proudly made in African goods, you will discover how African industry died one by one, not by accident, but by policy, politics, and pride. How corruption, poor leadership, and foreign manipulation turned our factories into museums. And finally, how we can resurrect the spirit of African manufacturing to create jobs, wealth, and dignity for our people again. By the end of this video, you will see that the death of manufacturing isn't just about broken machines, it is about broken visions. But visions can rise again if we have the courage to rebuild. And to understand what we lost, let me take you back to a story of a city that once shone like steel. There was once a city called Ajaokuta in Nigeria, the pride of Africa's industrial dream, built to be the heartbeat of steel production. It was meant to power railways, ships, machines, and factories across the continent. Billions were spent, hope was high. The world watched as Africa prepared to manufacture her own future. But as years passed, politics choked the dream. Contracts were hijacked. Leadership changed hands. Foreign interests stepped in, not to build, but to bind. Today, the great Ajaokuta steel plant stands like a sleeping giant, rusting, quiet, and forgotten. And this is not just Nigeria's story. Across Africa, from the textile factory of Ghana to the car assembly lines in Kenya to the mining industries in Zambia, the machines have gone silent. We became traders, not makers, importers, not inventors, consumers, not creators. The death of manufacturing killed not just industries, it killed hope, it killed pride, it killed jobs. But let's break it down. How exactly did Africa lose our factories? The death began with neglect and corruption. When our leaders abandoned industrial policy for quick profit, the foundation of productivity began to crumble. Factories were built without maintenance. Machines broke down and never got repaired. Government-owned industry became nest for corruption, ghost workers, inflated contracts, and the political appointments. Instead of industrialization, we embraced importation. Instead of innovation, we chose imitation. Foreign companies flooded our markets with cheap products, while our local industries suffocated under taxes, poor power supply, and lack of support. We killed our factories with our own hands through greed, short-sightedness, and dependency. But corruption alone didn't do it. Globalization came knocking, and we opened the door too wide. When the world said free trade, Africa said yes without asking. At what cost? We signed trade agreements that favored them, not us. We removed tariffs, exposing our young industries to international giants who could produce cheaper and faster. How can a small tailor in Aba compete with the mass-produced clothes from China? How can a local shoemaker in Ethiopia stand against machines in Italy? The game was rigged from the start, and we played along, smiling while losing. As our market filled with imported goods, our youth filled the streets, jobless, restless, and hopeless. And that is why you see insurgency, you see armed banditry, and so many of them happening in Africa. But there's another villain in this story, one that hits closer to home: our addiction to foreign taste. We stopped believing in our own products. We started thinking foreign means better. Foreign cars, foreign fabrics, foreign food, foreign dreams. Even when our local industry tried to compete, we looked down on them. We kill local creativity with mockery, no support. It is like the African proverb says, a child who mocks his mother's cooking will starve in another man's kitchen. Our leaders also joined the chorus, preferring imported policies to homegrown ideas. We built economies that rewarded importers and punished manufacturers. And soon, the factories closed their gate for good. But every death can have a resurrection if the people remember where the heartbeat stopped. All across Africa, there are signs of rebirth. Young Africans are building local brands, reviving crafts, creating tech-based manufacturing models, and exporting to the world. From Rwanda's Made in Rwanda initiative, to Ethiopia's leather industry, to Nigeria's growing automobile startups, there's a spark returning. The question is, will we fan this flame, or will we let the wind of politics blow it out again? Africa doesn't need more foreign factories. She needs her own hands empowered to build. Because until we produce what we consume, we'll keep consuming our future. And this is where you, yes, you watching, have a role to play. 1. Support local products. Every time you buy something made in Africa, you help create jobs, not just income. Number 2, promote local brands. Use your voice on social media to showcase African creativity. Number 3, encourage policy change. Demand from leaders to invest in manufacturing, not just import deals. Educate yourself. Learn about value chains. How raw materials become finished goods. Number 5, think production, not just consumption. Build something. Start something. Be part of the makers, not just the takers. Because when the people start creating, the economy starts breathing again. Solution: the resurrection of African manufacturing lies in value addition. We must move from exporting raw materials to exporting finished products. From sending out cotton to sewing our own clothes. From mining minerals to producing machines. Africa doesn't lack resources. She lacks resolve. We must shift our mindset from dependency to dignity. The day we start exporting made in African goods, we will stop importing unemployment. And that is the moment Africa will rise again, not as a market, but as a manufacturer. Now, let's build the momentum together. If this message speaks to your heart, don't just nod, act. Like this video to show support for African innovation. Share it with your friends who believe in rebuilding Africa. Drop a comment below. I believe in African production. Follow and subscribe for more of this series. And get your copy of my book, How Africa Was Trapped in the Global Economy. Together, we can ignite a movement that turns talk into transformation. But before you go, let me leave you with a thought that should echo in your heart tonight. They say a bird that forgets how to build its nest will forever live in the rain. Africa has forgotten how to build her economic nest, her factories, her industries, her pride. But we can rebuild it. Imagine an Africa where cars are made in Ghana, electronics in Kenya, textiles in Tanzania, and steel in Nigeria. An Africa that no longer imports poverty but exports prosperity. The tools are in our hands, the ideas in our heads, and the fire in our hearts. What remains is action. So I ask you, will you be part of the generation that keeps Africa consuming, or the one that makes her producing again? Because the day Africa starts building again, the world will start respecting again. Let's bring back our factories. Let's bring back our pride. Let's bring back the sound of machines, the sound of hope. Because when Africa manufactures again, Africa will matter again. Thank you for watching this video, and I believe you have learned a lot from this. As an African, act, do something. Thank you for watching this video, and please share it.